Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. HB is in the house. I think we're having I know we're having just a few technical difficulties. So for those of you who are on here, send me a comment, make sure that I'm actually live. We're making sure that we connect. Okay. All right. I think I've got a couple people on there. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay. Now, all right. I think we have people now coming aboard. So we're going to go ahead and let this Facebook Live. Everybody's been waiting for so long here. A few technical glitches that we're having. All right, I see Melvin is on here. Melvin Walker is on. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. And there we go. All right, we got the people coming on here. All right, I see Michelle. I see Shalene Wilson, Natasha, Travell. There we go. All righty, here we go. All right, guys, if we could just give a few moments here. Got Ken Francis Jr. in the house. All righty. Chadell, Gina's in the house. Gina Muhammad, Tanya Turner. Good morning. Crystal Brown, people all over the place. We got our Zoom is actually live right now. I see the hearts, I see the loves, I see those thumbs up. That's what I'm talking about. I got T Gray on the other line in my ear here, so I feel like a news anchor or a television cast person, whereas I've got my producer in my ear telling me what's going on, what's happening over here. Damian Cook in the house. All righty. Elias Rivera. Good morning. Tish Dinkins. Natasha Smith again. Good morning. All righty. Neil Perry in the house. All righty. Here we go. Just going to let our Facebook people go ahead and get jump on here. I apologize this morning for our delay, but remember, you are aboard the countdown for freedom, first class flight, and we are about to take off. We are about to take off. Veronica from Spain. Yeah, let us know where you're from. Oscar's from Houston. H-Town in the house. Gabrielle, good morning. All righty. All right, guys, let me get my producer back in my ear. Okay. And I am live in both places. I've got my producer in my ear, and we are going through all of our all of this setup stuff this morning, guys. It's been a wild and crazy week. We have not even completed the first week yet. This is just Saturday, and we actually kicked off on Monday, which is a few days ago. About 4 or 5 days ago, and I can tell you right now, things are absolutely bonkers. Lori Zidell's in the house. Lori, hadn't talked to you forever. What's happening? Mr. Tommy Peters in the house here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Nashville, Tennessee is in the house. Wow, got Nashville. Awesome. St. Louis is in the house. Vegas is in the house. All righty. Okay, if I can have my producer send me, all righty. Roderick Frazier in the house. That was on my on WhatsApp. He wasn't on Facebook. He's on WhatsApp, sending me messages from WhatsApp. Okay, T Gray, here's what I need you to do if you could. There we go. There, ¿Cómo están mis Latinos? We got a lot of people on the Spanish line as well. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. How are we doing, guys? Okay, T. Gray, if you could send me my notes, another text of my notes real quick, or give them to, if Anna, if you've got them, send them to me. Either one of you send those notes to me real quick, if we could. We're going to be going live. We're live, but we're going to be getting started here in a moment. I got Tahid Rahman. What's happening, bro? Sean Glover, the ATL. We've got London represented in the house. Kendrick Benson's in the house. Memphis, Tennessee is in the house. Awesome. Lori Spears. Good morning, Lori. Lori Spears, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, this is the godmother of travel, okay? You're going to be hearing a lot from Lori Spears, one of the most important components of the backbone of extreme travel. And Countdown for Freedom, you'll be hearing a lot from her. And I can tell you, she is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. When we get into some of the travel training and all of the platform that we have, and the width and depth of what we actually have to offer, many of you are actually going to be blown away. Right now, most of you are excited about the opportunity, just because of the momentum and the excitement that's actually going on, and that's enough as well. But once you are able to break down this product, I know for a fact where you're going to be and how you are really going to respond, understanding the value that we have here. I mean, it's phenomenal. I can tell you this here. I made a decision to start Countdown for Freedom and start this company based off of one aspect, well, actually two aspects of the product. Okay, those two aspects that I made a decision off of was based on, number one, the backbone. If I couldn't have acquired a significant component of extreme travel, this wouldn't have happened at all. The other part of it is the iGo, okay? The iGo and the cash back. Now, when I made my decision, those were the components of me making a decision knowing I've got to take this to the marketplace, because I couldn't sleep as a customer. I became a customer of this product first. So I didn't look at it from the opportunity standpoint first, because I didn't think that there was such a big opportunity. But I came from a consumer standpoint. And as a consumer, I was just blown away when I started to experience what was taking place and how awesome things were, and then made a decision. Listen, let's take this to the marketplace, because this product is too good. This product is too good. Got a couple stories I'll share with you. Right now, we're just kind of filibustering because I took too much time getting on here. And she is. Let's see here. I'm actually reading messages, talking to you guys. I took a lot of time getting on here, so just give us a couple seconds here, and we will be ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. So let me see if I've got my notes here. Okay. Alrighty. T. Gray, did you send me my my notes again? Okay, maybe. Oh, this is the notes. Okay, cool. Got it. Thought this looked like a link to get on the call, so I thought that's what it was. All right, I've got it here. Okay, good. I'll be going through some of this information in a second. Well, I see my lucky number is there. Every time I see the number 333, it just always comes to me. On my clock, I just saw it here, that it was on the Facebook Live. I saw it. I see it on my phone all the time. That is my lucky number. All right, a lot more people who are joining in right now. Guys, if you have a moment, I'll give you about another 1 to 2 minutes. Let's say 2 minutes here to go ahead and make sure that you're on here and on here live, as people were trying to get on right at the top of the hour, and usually we start right on time, but I am trying to do something a little different today, and hopefully I'm able to share my screen and do this from an iPad so I can actually draw. You guys know that when I like to train, I train from a whiteboard quite often, and I am hoping that I'm going to be able to use my screen. Let me just see if I'm able to do some things here for a second and change my screen into a drawing pad here for a second. Alrighty, let's see here. I'm gonna go to a different screen here, guys, and when I go to a different screen in a second, or T. Gray, just watch the screen, and I want to pull up paper and see if you're able to see what I have on the screen here. Pretty. All right, there we go. All right, so let me make sure that I am. All right, I'm gonna make sure we're on Wi-Fi here, because I don't want to lose us at all. So give me one moment. All right, there we go. Okay, awesome stuff. I think we are good now. I think I have a better connection right now. T. Gray, am I good now? Okay, awesome. Awesome. All righty. Okay, well, let me go ahead and start with a few updates here, guys, so that everybody pretty much is updated on what's happening, what's taking place here. First of all, I want to say welcome to Countdown for Freedom. This will not be an opportunity call. This is HB Holton Buggs in the house, CEO and president of Countdown for Freedom. When you hear me say Countdown for Freedom, that's more of a movement. It's not the name of our company. What we have actually done is reserve releasing the name of the company for a special VIP launch event that's actually going to take place. And that VIP launch event is going to take place on the 8th of March. It's going to be a VIP event at my house, and it's going to be for people who have a special invitation. When we do that, that's when we're going to do what we call the brand and the name reveal. And there's a specific strategy behind that. The reason why we did not release the name of the company, ladies and gentlemen, is not because we don't have the name. We're not prepared. We're very prepared with all of that. And before we came up with the concept or released or even started our pre-launch, we had all of our branding and our logos and everything designed. Typically what happens in the network marketing industry is, especially if you're a company that is a growing company, and what we have to look at when you start planning a business, you don't plan for who you are, you plan for where you're going. It's kind of like if you're out there, if you're out there hunting, one of the things that I learned is that if you want to hit your target, you don't aim at whatever it is that you're hunting. And I did some skeet shooting before, and whenever they pull the lever, if you follow just the skeet itself and you aim at it, you're always going to miss it. And so what you got to do is you got to anticipate exactly where it's going to be at the time that you pull the trigger, and that's how you go ahead and hit the bullseye. And it's the same thing in network marketing or in any business or any company. Most companies plan for the number of customers that they have. What we're planning for right now is where we're going to be right now. Just from our pre-launch, what we're doing is our goal is making sure that we're planning at least 90 days to 6 months out right now in terms of the activities that we're doing, in terms of the number of people that we're going to have. Our goal is to get about 1 year to 2 years ahead of the field. Why? So that we don't have those same issues that most companies would actually have. Now, we are all going to have challenges. Challenges, we bring those on. We welcome challenges. But one of the things I don't believe in is making the same mistake over and over and over and over again. And I can tell you, we've put together an incredible team. Right now, we've got an entire staff of almost 30 different people, almost 30 different employees. I'll kind of give you a little bit of background as to how all of this has come to fruition and why this is working the way that it is. So when you're setting up a company and you know that you're going to be an international company, what happens when you start to grow is you have other companies or other individuals that I don't believe that most of them don't mean harm, but what they'll sometimes do is they'll go out there and register your company name and register your trademark. And when you want to open in that country, they'll come to you and say, well, you know what, I already have your registration, and try to sell you your company name. So just imagine if you had a domain name, but that domain name was only registered in your country, and you didn't register your domain in another country, and you went there to www.countdownforfreedom, and let's just say we were opening, let's say we were opening the Netherlands, and somebody says, well, we've already have Countdown for Freedom in the Netherlands, but we'll sell it to you. And every country that starts to happen. And so we said, let's not do this until we have global registration. Let's keep the company name completely private, not let anybody know that. Why? We want to own all of our own intellectual property because we've got major plans for a huge future and a lot of freedom that's actually going to take place all around the world. So we're really excited about that. I got to tell you a funny story. People have been hearing about VIP party, and I'm getting a call yesterday from my security at my home, and I'm like, we haven't sent out any VIP invitations yet. Nobody's got approved necessarily outside of the ones who already know that they're approved for this party. And I got a call yesterday from my security, and I pick up the phone, and they say, well, Mr. Buggs, we have XYZ person that's here. And I'm like, who is that? Well, it's a group of people. Well, who are they? And well, they say they're here to meet with you. Meet with me for what? I didn't invite anybody to my house. Well, they're here for some VIP travel event. I'm like, what's the name of these people? Who are they? Now, I didn't know who the people were, and they gave me the names. And I says, hold those people. Don't let them through my gates, okay? And so they held them, and didn't let them through the gates. And then they said, well, they were invited by this person here. So this other particular person who had invited them. And I called that person. I'm like, is this true? Did you invite some people? Yeah, we can't wait for the meeting. What time is the meeting starting? I'm like, what meeting? What are you talking about? Oh, I flew people in for the meeting. I paid for flights and people coming from Chicago and the East Coast and all over for this event. And I'm like, there's no event. Ain't no event taking place. I was in Las Vegas last night when they were coming to my house. I was in Las Vegas at that time. And so people are so excited, jumping the gun already. I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, from what we've actually been experiencing, it's been if this is a precursor to what's actually taking place and the quality of the people that are actually, the quality of the people that are actually coming to the table here, and in terms of what their experience has been in network marketing, it's really, as Marcus says, game over. Okay, Marcus said it on his screen, game over. All right. But let me share with you a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen, as to many of you who are on here for the very first time. This company was, I believe, born out of, I would say, divine intention, but not personal intention. And I'll have to be very candid with you. I've been in the network marketing industry now for over 28 years. This year will be 29 years. Okay. After almost 29 years in this industry, I've seen some of the ups and I've seen some of the downs, and I've seen quite a bit of things that really I've been excited about, but also I've seen a lot of things that kind of, it bothers me. I can tell you that as I've built businesses, I've been a part of companies whereas I've been able to look at people's eyes and I wasn't sure if they could build it. Okay, I'll just be very candid with you. Because we know that this is a business for everyone. And this is an industry for everyone, but it's not that everyone is going to be for this industry. I believe that people can change. I believe that people can adopt and adapt, and people can learn, and people can grow. I'm a big believer in people. But I know what it takes to get a business off the ground. I know what it takes to get a customer. I know what it takes to keep a customer. I know what it takes to enroll distributors. I know what it takes from a company standpoint to set a company up, for a company to be viable. I know what it takes for the company to understand the field, and the field having a liaison, somebody who can connect that bridge so that the field understands the company understands the field. And by the way, that is one of the biggest causes of lack of momentum, is that there's a disconnection between the field and the company. And I've seen that happen, but more importantly, from a distributor standpoint, I'm nothing special. I don't believe that I have any special talents. I don't have any special talents. I'm just persistent and I'm stubborn. And when I couldn't grow my business, or my business wasn't growing, I never looked at what wasn't happening. See, most people ask me about my first 7 years. And when I wasn't making money, I never made more than $500 a month. And the months that I did it 3 separate times. The largest volume that I had ever created in my first 7 years was less than $2,000 per month in business. $2,000 of volume, 2,000 BV, okay? And I was a part of a company that I'm very grateful for. I was a part of the Amway business. And that's my core. That's where I get all of, I'd say the majority of my wisdom. I believe that it's been the best training system, well, definitely the best training system for myself. And so, but during that journey of working, I mean, like crazy. I never missed an event that I qualified to attend, and I went month after month after month after month after month after month after month, and I can tell you I was very seldom frustrated with the amount of money that I was making. Very frustrated, okay? And I remember I had an attitude. People asked me, how much money are you making? I said, listen, if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. And that was true. Nobody would have believed I've been working a business for 5 years and I'm bringing home $100 a month. I averaged about $70 to $80 a month in terms of net income on a monthly basis. And because I was growing personally. And some of you here may be like, okay, well, HB, I want you to get to how I'm going to make some money. And I'm going to talk to you about how to make some money, but I'm going to talk to you more about how to keep it and how to build something that you'll be proud of, and how to not springboard through the process and think that you're going to go from zero to hero just because we have a simple product here. I see my boy Jerry Steptoe. I see him on the call here. I saw him in the airport in LA just a while back. I got to give a shout out to him. Welcome to Countdown for Freedom. But I've seen a lot of network marketers come through and make a lot of money, and I see them go through their money as well and have nothing to show for it. It's not going to happen here, specifically if you buy into the philosophy that we're gonna teach people here. Okay? But more importantly, this company was created because I would look into the eyes of people sometimes, and I cringe a little bit. And there's been companies that I've been a part of that I just knew that I knew my mother was not going to build a big business. And I knew some family members of mine was probably going to meet the point of frustration before they met the point of profit. Because frustration is going to come before major profit comes. It always does. And I would do presentations sometimes, and I would see people enroll in the business with the big packages. And I got to be candid with you. My gut at some point, and not all the time, this is very few times, but my gut was like, I hope that they sell this product, because I didn't see in their eyes the desire to learn, and I didn't see in their eyes that they were going to go out there and make this thing happen. But I saw them talk about what their dream was, and there was a conflict that was there. And some of you know what I'm talking about, that conflict, whereas you know when somebody's going to tear it up and when they can, and then you know, and it's not that you look down on people, but you got to be a realist. You've got to be a realist, okay? And it's not about educational level. You know, one of the people that I have mentored in the industry who've made probably the most money of anyone had a 4th grade education. So it's not about that. But one of the talents that you're going to have to develop in network marketing, and it's the rarest talent that's available, and that is the ability to recognize talent. The ability to recognize talent. You know, one of the things that I learned it from, I think it was American Idol a long time ago. I think it was American Idol. The guy Simon that was on there. See, everybody would boo Simon because Simon was straightforward with people. And what Simon did is he was so straightforward with people that he either made them reevaluate their talent or stop wasting time. Because he'd tell them, you don't have what it takes. Why? He's an expert in what it takes. And you can sometimes look at a person and you can tell whether or not they've got the attitude, or whether they've got the tenacity, or whether they've got, it's not about the skill. You can just tell whether they've got what it takes to get to that level. This level up here is not for everyone. If everyone was going to be a superstar, there would be no such thing as a superstar. Superstar is the word that separates you from the masses. Now, everyone on this call has the ability to be a superstar, but everybody won't be a superstar. But what was most important to me was, what if a company could be created whereas you didn't have to be a superstar, but you were earning what is known as superstar results. You still could have your freedom. You didn't have to be a big recruiter. You didn't have to go out there and have great salesmanship. You didn't have to be an incredible presenter. You didn't have to have the highest charisma in the world. And when I became a customer of this product first, a user of this product, before I ever bought it, before I ever bought the company, I was a user of the product. And as a user of this product, I would look around and I couldn't believe it. And I'm telling you guys, I would go to Peter every single day. Is this true? Is it real? Okay? Is this real? Because at one time, I had to make a few calls, and I made a few calls, and I asked, I was tiptoeing, talking to a few people, and I never forget telling a couple people, I can't tell this group how excited I am about this product. I can't tell everybody how excited I am, because if I tell everybody how excited I am, they're probably going to think that I'm desperate to make something work. And I started feeling like, let me hold back a little bit, because I couldn't believe what I'm seeing. Because why? Because I just didn't think that it would have come to me that simple. And sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit. And I can tell you guys, sometimes I don't give myself enough credit. And sometimes we downplay our success, or we downplay who we are, and we downplay our greatness, as Elsie says here, ready for greatness. We downplay it. And so I'm thinking, I'm not the smartest, tool in the tool shed. If this product was so great, why don't everybody have it? But I want to share something with you. Okay? And I asked this question to a few people. I'm going to ask it to you. What is the value of a basketball? What's the value of a basketball? Some of you may put it even in the comments, $25, $15, $30, depending on the manufacturer. Has nothing to do with the manufacturer. The value of a basketball is determined by whose hands the basketball is in. See, if you put a basketball in my hands, it's probably worth about $30. And if you've got me on your team, don't bet any money, because it's going to be worth a loss. Basketball is not my sport. So when we go all around the world and we're going to have some fun, and I know everybody's going to have their basketball teams, unless you just want to have fun, put me on your team if you want to have fun. If you want to win, I'm not your boy, because I play football on the basketball court. All right, I'm going to foul out the first quarter. I'm fouling out. All right, I tackle people on the basketball court. That's just how I play. Okay? I'm great at defense. Okay, I tackle people. So basketball in my hands is not worth much. But a basketball in Michael Jordan's hands, billions. Billions. Okay? And I never forget talking to Peter and talking to David. And I said, who knows about this? Does the current company know about this product? Yeah. And I said, they can't know about it. No, they know about it. I said, why don't they have 1 million customers? Why not? Why aren't there 1 million customers? And he says, I don't know. And so obviously you start to go back in your mind, you start to think, okay, well, must be something. Well, maybe the product doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. And so I take my trips, and I start taking trips, and I can't find any holes. I start doing my research, and there's other companies who have a similar product. I don't care about that stuff. Guys, don't get all twisted up in that. I had somebody the other day say, well, do you know that this company only sells this product for $100? I said, great. Try getting rich off of $100. It's one of the reasons they don't sell a lot of it, because they price it too cheap. My time isn't for free. I understand the value of me. And it's not about taking advantage of, but I understand the value of me. Okay? And 28 years, this is what I call the Rolls Royce of the industry. This is the Rolls Royce product of the industry, and I'm not going to sell it for $50. I'm not going to sell it for free. No. Because the people who can make the biggest difference will not even have an interest to get started with the product when you price it too cheap. Let me give you an example. I learned this a long time ago. Okay? I learned this a while ago. I had a furniture company. All right. I grew up when I dropped out of college, I started a furniture company because I vowed I never wanted to work for another person the rest of my life. And so I started a furniture company, and here I got this furniture business, right? See, people can't see my Countdown for Freedom shirt and my hat. If I put my hat down too much, cover my eyes. But anyway, so here's what takes place. And I'll never forget, I was in the furniture business, and I was importing furniture from Indonesia, and I would have accessories. And I had this vase, or as you must say it if you're in the high-end business, a vase. It wasn't a vase, it was a vase. And I had this, and I was in the highest rent district in Houston, second highest capital income per capita in Houston. It was on Rice Boulevard, 2414 Rice Boulevard. I've got my furniture company. And I never forget, right next door, there was a guy who made furniture, custom made furniture. And he came in, he was my neighbor in business, and we would talk, all the time. Now I'm sitting there and I learned how to play solitaire real good because I had a great idea, open a store with no business plan. And I did, thinking that everybody's gonna come flocking in because I got a great product. Doesn't work that way. I was out of business there in about 2 months. I was out of business in the store, and then for years I found another great idea. I always turned a lemon into lemonade. I took all of my furniture and I went to the street corner and I started selling furniture on the street corner. And I realized, why pay rent when the street corner is free? I can open my store whenever I want it. I can take my store and move locations every weekend. And I was making about $180,000 a year working 2 days a week selling furniture on the street corner. Why? Because I went out of business, and on the first day I was going out of business, I made $4,000 profit. So I'm like, I'm gonna go out of business again next week. And then for the next 7 years, I was going out of business every single weekend. But back to the story, here I've got this guy who was custom making furniture, and he had a customer came in who always gets custom furniture made. So he came into my shop, and I never forget it, I got this vase from Japan. And it was a Japanese vase, and it was really nice. I'll never forget, it was black with different type of Japanese stuff that was going on it. And he came in and he asked me, how much is this vase? And it was $275. And it was, $275 and some change and so the zeros and zeros was there because I would put a price tag on it. And so it's like $275 and you couldn't see the period, and it was a 00. So it could have been, $27,000. And he asked me what was the price of the vase. And he looked around, and I didn't know who this guy was. And I said, it's $275. Matter of fact, because sales were down, matter of fact, we're going to do 40% off this week, sir. I go to my calculator and I tell him how much the vase was. And as soon as I told him, he put the vase down and left my store. And I'm thinking, he didn't even want to buy the vase, cheapskate. I go next door and I'm talking to the owner. He says, do you know who that was? I said, no. He said, well, this guy here, he writes math books for a living. All the schools, he's the author of all the math books. He's a math genius, and he's a gazillionaire. He has residual income. Every time a math book is bought, he makes money because he's the one who wrote it. And he came back and told Thomas next door, he says, the reason he didn't buy your vase is because it was too cheap. And because it was too cheap, He didn't want to have something and possess something that was $275. But if you had told him that it was $27,000, he would have bought it just like this. Why? Because people of significance understand value. And what I want you to understand is that in life, no matter what it is, I want you to get prepared to pay the full price. Get prepared to pay the full price. Many of us want to become successful, and we want success on a discount. Success is not at a discount store. When I shop at Louis Vuitton, you can't go in. You've never seen a Louis Vuitton anything that says on sale. This is why you travel around the world. They've got a line that they stand outside, and they won't even let enough people in because there is no sale on Louis Vuitton. There is on Michael Kors. Nothing wrong with Michael Kors at all. But we're talking two different qualities here. We're talking something that's going to last for a lifetime. So I bought my mom a Louis Vuitton purse, her first Louis Vuitton purse, and she still has it. And she's rough on purses. But it's still there. The quality of it is still there. This is maybe 20 years ago, almost, but she still has it. And so the thing that I want you to understand, I want you to understand why we created this opportunity. We didn't create this opportunity to say we've got the cheapest opportunity in the world. Some of you, that's what you're looking for. You're not going to find that here. I don't care if people put their packages on sale for free. If the enrollments are free, if they don't charge, here's what I do know. We are going to build the biggest company in the world. And it's not going to be based on price. Okay? It's going to be based on value. I want you to have confidence with understanding what it is that you have. And I'm not going to sell you on what you have. You're going to have to sell yourself on what it is that you have. I'm going to talk to you about our monthly cost and why we have a monthly cost and why that monthly cost is. I've seen a few people who say, and it's just a few people, and it's okay, you just don't understand. Well, why do we have $99 a month? Because I decided not to charge $1,000 a month. That's the reason it's $99. Because it should be $1,000 a month to have a product like this, okay? And so I don't want you to start looking around the industry to compare, all right? Network marketing companies, even in the travel business, is not our competition. The way that you think, that's your competition, okay? That's your competition, okay? Somebody says, that's not true. Louis Vuitton is on sale at Dillard's. I didn't know Dillard's even carried Louis Vuitton. Okay? Stop trying to be right and understand the philosophy. Okay? I'd rather for you to be rich than to be right. Go to Louis Vuitton and ask them, when does your luggage go on sale? Go look for a 40% off sale. Go look for a 10% off. Trust me. This is a person right here who's bought hundreds of thousands of dollars of Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton does parties, personal parties, close the store down for me. Never had a discount. Ever. Ever. Your thinking is going to be your competition, not the other network marketing companies. It doesn't matter what the other network marketing companies do. It's going to be about the value that you place on it. Let me share with you what's very expensive or what's difficult to sell. Free. Free is very difficult to sell. Been a part of network marketing companies. T. Gray will come back on one day and tell you his story. When I met him, he was in a program and it was free. I said, okay, you go ahead with your free self. Go see how much money you're going to make free. And he came back and said, man, you were right. Yeah. Okay. So why do we have a $99 cost here? And I'm going to be all over the place, as you guys know, and I'll give you some updates as well. Because we thought about it and we said, okay, well, free is hard to sell, so we'll make sure that the customer has a cost so that they understand the value of it. And then we thought about it, no, we want to make sure we can show value to the customer without the price being there. So what if a distributor, now remember, this is not a cost of $99. It's an investment into a person who's planning to have a business. See, when I opened my store in 2414 Rice Boulevard and my lease was $3,000 per month, why did I choose that area? I told you, because I looked at the demographics and I said, I want to go to the second highest income per capita demographic. And I could have been in a place where my rent for the same square footage, 1,500 square feet, and I could have paid $1,000 a month. I said, no. The people who I want buying my furniture don't shop at places where the rent is this cheap. And so I went to the high rent district and I start meeting some other people. The neighborhood that I moved in, I'm just sharing some stuff with you so that you understand concept here. When I moved into my neighborhood, people said, well, HB, man, you could have got a much bigger house. And I've been there and the houses are so close to each other. Why didn't you go over in the suburbs and get a bigger house with all of this land? I said, here's the reason I moved to my neighborhood. Because I knew that there were a lot of very wealthy people in my neighborhood. And I didn't move for the money that they had. I moved for the philosophy. I said, I know these wealthy people who live in my neighborhood, they're all going to have wealth philosophies. Guess what they're also going to have? They're going to have children. And so their children are going to get passed down these wealth and success philosophies. And the people that I'm bumping into, I want to associate myself with these people. I'll never forget, we moved in. I got a membership at the country club, $70,000 for the initiation fee for the country club, for the privilege of paying $600 a month. Guess who was the first person that I met? A guy who owned 15 banks. Do you think that it was worth it for me to be playing golf and be able to call a guy who owns 15 of his own banks? Every person who's a part of my team today, I met them from my neighborhood. My tax attorney, my business attorney, other business partners, I met them in my neighborhood because of the association. I didn't go for the land. See, they wanted me to go for an acre of land. But because I moved there, I've actually been able to purchase entire neighborhoods because of the philosophy. I'm here in Las Vegas right now, and 6 years ago, I bought an entire neighborhood. I bought it from the city of North Las Vegas. They went bankrupt, and because of me living there and learning principles, I went in and offered cash and bought the entire neighborhood. And guess what happened? Los Angeles Raiders was moving here. I had the neighborhood. KB Homes came and wrote me a check that I could not refuse. Why? The thinking of the people that I was associated with. And so, did it cost me money? Later on, I'm going to talk to you about price versus value, cost versus worth. It's a whole nother training that we'll do later on. But here are some of the reasons, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to be successful. It's because of how we think up in here, not all the detailed information that we're going to give you. Anybody can train you on how to book on a website. Guys, listen, I told a group the other day, with the team of people that we have here, if you never traveled one time, and if you never gave out a boomerang to one person, having access to these calls, having access to the mindset that we have here, you don't see $99 for that. So what you've got to learn is stop asking why the price and start asking where's the value? What is all included with this? Okay? So the way I look at it is, I'm going to build me a business. Me personally, I am going to have boomerang customers, big time. Am I willing to pay $99 per month so that the 5,000 customers that I plan to have over a period of time personally don't have to pay? I'll do it in a heartbeat. One customer alone, just one boomerang customer alone, can pay for it. Can pay for it. They can at least pay for 3 months. So that means get you 4 boomerang customers. We already talked about the average customer vacation, $600 in savings. You're going to receive 50% of that, right? So if you get 4 customers, that's $2,400 in savings. What is your income? $1,200. So stop asking what the price is and start asking, what must I do? Who must I become in order to afford it? That's the way that you've got to look at the business, and we're not going to cheapen it. We're not. We're not going to drop it down because your threshold of understanding the value is not there yet. It's not going to happen. It's just not. And so we want you to understand why we're doing something, not just that we're actually going to do it. Okay? Let's grow you. We're not going to shrink here. Because if we shrink to where I used to think the same thing. I used to think that that I was poor because rich people had all the money. Why do we live in this apartment? Why do we have to move every 6 months? And I look on television and see the rich people, they got all the money and they know how hungry we are and they should donate and they should give this. That was a poor philosophy. I had to learn something a little bit different. And I had to learn, maybe if I learned what they know, I won't feel this way. And I never forget my first network marketing event. My first network marketing event I went to, and it was a gentleman by the name of Bill Britt. He passed away. He was one of the best. He and Dexter Yeager, the best. People say, HB, man, you've made some. Listen, I am not a pimple on a frog's butt in comparison to what these guys are. And I'm watching this guy and I'm listening to his philosophy, and he started talking about success and freedom, and I got very uncomfortable with the stuff that he was saying. I got extremely uncomfortable, and I'm saying, this guy is wrong. No, he was right. Let me tell you how I knew he was right. 2 years later, I started to agree with him. 2 years later, I'm agreeing with him. I'm like, man, this guy must have changed his philosophy. He changed. He didn't change, I changed. I started to grow. And so what we want you to know is that you're going to have to grow if you want to become if you want to become a leader in the business. You don't need to come on these trainings here if all you want to do is just build yourself a customer base. You can get on if you want, but I am here. I'm going to take my time and invest in leadership development, because that's where my core is. That's what I know better than anything, is leadership development. Being able to change a person's thinking, being able to impact you so that you actually change your own thinking. But here's what I do know. What I do know is that we designed this company because today I can look anybody in the eyes, no matter where you're from. I don't care what your income level is, your background. It doesn't matter where you are, where you're from. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter any of that. I can look you in the eye, and I know for a fact you can be full-time, earn a full-time income here at Countdown for Freedom, period. And I couldn't say that about every other company that I've seen in the industry. So when we talk about it's time for the network marketing to evolve, this is that time. This is that concept. And so sometimes when you look at the concept, people say, well, they think it's got to be difficult and complex and complicated in order for something to be big. No, the more simple the business, the easier it is to duplicate. My biggest success has been building a coffee business. I didn't even drink coffee. Had my cup a couple minutes ago. And why did it grow? Why did I build my biggest success? Because I never had to explain coffee to anybody. I've never sold coffee to anybody. I offered them something that they were going to do anyway. The only difference is it was only 50 cents per use, $1 per use to them. And here, person's going to travel anyway. And I told you, in the industry, 79 days is how long a customer stays on your product if you have an auto ship. The average customer spends $35 a month. That's $105 that you're going to receive for the year per customer. That's it. That's not you. That's total income. Typically, in most companies, you've got about a 10 to 30% profit margin. That means that you're going to make $30 per year per customer. I know the numbers. I've crunched the numbers. I know this industry like I know the back of my hand. And so, okay, if I'm going to make $30 from a customer, and then I'm going to have to recruit 4 more customers to make sure that I have 1 full customer for the year, and here I can give somebody a boomerang website, and they're my customer for life. I don't have to sell them. I don't have to convince them. I don't have to talk about the ingredients. I don't have to give any stories about the product. I don't have to tell them, hey, listen, I apologize. The last 5 customers, it did make their hair grow longer, and I'm sorry it didn't work for you. I give you a refund. Or all the testimonials that we oversell, because as distributors, we oversell. That's what we're good at. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do it. My son is geeked. My son is stoked about being a part of this. Why? He saw how simple it was. Okay? My dad, my family, they're all getting involved because of the simplicity. Simple concept. Simple, simple, simple. And I get a customer. They're going to travel whether I want them to travel or whether they want to travel or whether they don't want to travel. When they become the customer, here's what our philosophy is, and here's what we're building, and I'll get into some of these updates here. Here's what our philosophy is. Our philosophy is building an environment. Okay? Building an environment, whereas an ecosystem, a lifestyle ecosystem. So the PRIB, the perpetual residual income builder, is based on us putting the money into the marketing. What we're doing is building an entire marketing, not just a department, we're building a marketing philosophy. I went down to Dallas at our corporate headquarters and I met with the entire team, David Manning, who's president and CEO of Extreme Travel. I'm so grateful for what he's put together and how he's just kept that company for 18 years. And we went down there and we met with all of the entire staff and I gave them the entire vision. And I told them, I said, I want you to understand, here's what we're not going to do. We are not going to lose 1 single customer. Where did I get that philosophy? I was talking to Mark Kithcart, who is our VP of global marketing, and he was talking about how tenacious the company that he was a major force for, and how the CEO, if they lost 1 customer, how the CEO would make sure that they get on the phone, do whatever they have to do, and they never lost a customer unless he wanted to lose them. And I says, that's who we're going to be. That's who we're going to be. We're not going to lose a customer, okay, at all. And I share with them, I don't care if a customer calls, whatever happens, you take care of them. No excuses. I don't care if the customer's wrong, whatever it is, unless they become disrespectful and unless they become abusive. Those are the only ones that we'll lose, and that's the ones that we probably don't want. But we won't lose 1 customer. We're going to lose distributors because you just don't keep everyone, but we won't lose 1 customer, period. That was one of the first philosophies that I shared with them. Why? Because what we're going to do is that it's going to be your responsibility to go get those customers, and we're going to go out there and build your income. You wouldn't pay $99 a month for somebody else to go do all the work for you, for somebody else to make all the phone calls, for somebody else to go out there and build the relationships for you, for somebody else to secure your income. See, what you looked at was price, and you compared it to what you were doing in every other company that you're not making a residual income in. We're saying, go get the customer, let us take care of them. When we start selling other services and other products and we've got them knocking on the door right already, I promise you guys, I don't know what's happened, but you did it. You did it. They're knocking on the door right now saying, hey, listen, we've got this and we've got, can we talk partnership and can we talk all of these alliances here? And we'd love to bring this and bring that. And so we're getting set up for that. And so I want you to understand what it is that you have. Okay? Yeah, it is a tax write-off too, right? Guys, nobody's ever done this before. Nobody's ever done it. Whereas you go get the customers, we're going to use artificial intelligence. We're using all of these data analytic programs. I don't know that stuff, but I can tell you, I know the people who knows it. I couldn't do it if I tried. You saw it took me 15 minutes to go on my iPad here, and I can't even do what I want to do. It took 15 minutes to set this up. That's not me, but I got a team that knows how to do this stuff. Mark Kithcart, that guy is a beast. T. Gray, that guy is an absolute beast. The other people that we have that's a part of this team, some of the people that you haven't even met yet, guys, they know what they're talking about. I've got other people coming saying, listen, I want to be a part of this movement. I don't need a salary. I just want to contribute because I've never seen anything like this before. I'm a distributor, but here are my resources. Here's where I can contribute. I've never had that before. And because they see what we're doing. And so now, imagine you building a team here of, and I'm going to ask you guys something here. I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to be bold here and ask in a minute here. And I'm going to want the feedback. I can only see the Facebook comments. I can't see. T. Gray, you and Mark, I need you guys monitoring, and Peter and David, if you're on there, monitor the comments on the Zoom here. And I think David may be somewhere in Raleigh, North Carolina. I believe he's in Raleigh right now. And they may be watching here right now in Raleigh. I don't know if it's even the time for the business, but I'm gonna ask a question a little bit later. Why? I told you this is not my company; it's your company. And I really mean it. Yeah, I believe that when something is this great, don't own it. I don't want to own it. I'm responsible for it, and I'm the steward over it. But I can't. I told you earlier that I believe that this opportunity was divinely inspired because I never thought about owning my own company. I never thought about starting a network marketing company. I always made more than the owners did. Okay. And so it's your company. So I'm going to ask you something here, and I want your response and see. I'm going to give you a scenario, and whatever you guys say is what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to let you build your own income here. But imagine you get customers, and in your organization, you've seen the numbers. If you've got 1,000 customers in your organization, okay, you've got 1,000 customers in your organization, and our marketing department, through the data analytics, through artificial intelligence, through a lot of technology that we're putting in place right now as we speak, they're building relationships. They know who your customers are, where they are around the world, not just locally, all around the world. And we know, and what we start doing is we start building a relationship with them that they don't even know that this is a network marketing company. We don't even want them to think network marketing. We want them to know that they have a relationship with a company who provided a travel ecosystem for them, that now they may be buying their insurance through, that now they may be buying their satellite TV through, that now they may be buying their cell phone service through, now they may be getting their credit repair through. I'm just giving you all of these different things. I mean, you name it, it's done, but you never talk about it in the presentation. You'll never go to an opportunity meeting and talk about anything else other than travel. But our company is doing all of it, and when we're selling them all of these subscriptions that they want to buy from us because we built the relationship with them and we understand who our customer is and the value of a customer, and every time they buy any of those services, the field gets paid. You wouldn't pay $100 for that. Okay? That's what I want you to really understand, what it is that you have. And because this idea has been there, but I never had the right tools to do it, and it came through adversity. This opportunity was born out of adversity. Okay? And I never forget one of my very good friends, Johnny Wimbrey. He's known for saying this. And he says, adversity causes some people to break and others to break records. And he would ask this question, are you a record breaker? Okay. And he is the top earner in another travel company. Yes. No, I didn't ask him to join here. He's doing extremely well where he is. I want him to be the greatest of where he is. As a matter of fact, I sent the owner of his company a text message. Because I'm going to share with you the philosophy of how we're going to build here. It's going to be a little different. I sent this, Wayne Nugent is the CEO of his company. Here's the message that I sent to Wayne Nugent right here. Just in case you don't see it here, okay? Wayne Nugent. It says, Wayne, this is Holton Bugs. I want to reach out to you as a courtesy and a supporter of what you are building. I launched my new company today in the travel industry, and I'm really excited. I know that some distributors don't deal with a high degree of maturity. With that said, I want to assure you that I don't support that philosophy. In the future, if you hear of any issues of distributors affecting your company in a negative way, let me be your first call. Johnny Wimbrey is one of my best friends in life, and I will never do anything to hurt him nor the people that he loves. I admire what you have built and the impact that you've had on the industry. Thank you for paving the way. We're not going to tear down somebody else's dream to build ours. We're not going to go out here and cross-recruit and just put down other people and go after, and be the vultures of the industry, which has given us this bad name. We're going to do something different. You don't have to tear something down. I called another one of my buddies who owns another travel company out as a courtesy. And, I let him know. I called Donald Bradley. He's a friend of mine. This guy was kind of like a big brother to me when I got in my second travel company. Hey, man, I'm here. I'm doing something here in the travel business. This was before I actually started this. But I'm doing something in the travel space, and I know this is your space, and we know how people are. I won't let you know. If you hear anybody tearing you down, if there's anybody casting negative on your company, and it's affecting you, you call me. We're not going to deal with that. Okay? That's just how we want. That's how I want us to operate. Now we know everybody won't, but that's how I want us to operate from a position of not being perfect, but I always wanted to build the most admired company in the world. See, Apple has been known to be the most admired company in the world, and I would always give my plans over to another CEO and hope that they would understand the philosophy, and they didn't care about it as much as I cared. And that means something to me. And so don't go targeting travel people. We don't need to target travel people. Talk to people. Don't go, when I mean travel people, I'm talking about people in travel network marketing. Switch from this to this one. Our comp plan is better. How do you know? How much money are you making? You don't know if it's better. Hey? Who has the best comp plan? You don't know. There's people who've got comp plans that pay out only 40%, and they make more money than some people whose comp plan pay out 70%. We're going to pay out up to 85% on the residual, up 85%. And there's still going to be people who have residual incomes here that will be less than somebody else's. It has nothing to do with compensation plan. Okay? So it has everything to do with philosophy. So this is why we built it. I'm going to go through some of these updates here, guys, because I told you I'm all over the place sometimes, but I wanted to just set the stage for who we're going to be, why we're doing what it is that we do. And over time, you're going to get a lot of specific trainings that we're going to have, and some of you may agree with the philosophies we have, and some of you may not. But remember what I told you. I didn't agree with Bill Britt either. And once I started learning a little bit of why, that was when I said, man, he changed, and it wasn't him. It was me who changed. Okay, that's the last phone calls that we want to have. Is, hey, listen, man, your people are cross recruiting. Okay, I'll tell you right now, if you're out there and if you're in Organo, and you're trying to recruit, or you're stealing from me, I am an owner of that company. I own a percentage of it. And if you're going out there cross-recruiting, and if you're in Organo saying, hey, HB started his own company, so he's no longer in Organo, he left Organo, that's a lie. How can you leave something that you own? You can't leave something that you own. And so if that's you, and if you're going out there doing that, then we're going to have some conversations. And what our goal is to rehabilitate you. Our goal is not to terminate you. Our goal is to rehabilitate you. Let you know, hey, listen, let's make a difference here. Let's not jump to conclusions, and we're not going to be the termination company. We're not going to be weak either now. I'm letting you know that we're not going to be pushovers, but that's one of the things I hated in the industry. Okay? Companies tell you, hey, it's your business until they decide that it's not, and they take your check. Well, you're going to have the opportunity to just abandon your check over here. We don't want to take your check. All right? And so that's how we're going to build. And so it's really exciting. So let me go through some stuff here, guys. We started pre-launch period. I'm going to get into my notes right now. We are in pre-enrollment right now. I'm just going through some of my stuff. Lost T. Gray. Okay, T. Gray is going to call me back. For those of you who are on Zoom, T. Gray, call me. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me call. I think I've got this number, 929-205-6099. I may not be able to get in. Zoom is probably full. Hold on. 1 3 4 7 9 8 9 6 2 pound. There's T. Gray. T. Gray, you got me? Are we back? Okay, all right. It let me get through that time. But anyway, here we go. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay, good. So now, we're talking about some of the updates of things that we've done. All right, appreciate that, Super. So we started pre-launch on Monday. Here's let me give you some updates here. Okay, on Monday we started pre-launch with our first pre-launch call, and guys, we've been maxing out our Zoom lines. I know we had a challenge with Facebook Live. We had Peter Hirsch who rocked the house last night, and it's exciting. I can tell everybody's stepping their game up. And people were talking about my call that I did the other day. You know why I did my other call? why that call was like it was? I tell you, that wasn't me. I saw Mark Cathcart and T. Gray, and I'm sitting there, and I couldn't tune away. I was busy, and I'm watching. I'm on the plane watching that call, and I'm like, these guys are coming with it. And I'm a little bit competitive, just a little bit competitive. And so I'm like, hold on, if the team is coming like that, I got to step my game up. HB got to step it up. So I stepped my game up, and I don't know where all of that came from, but we're bringing it. And people are, I'm sending, people are getting on these calls and just wanting to be a part of it, of what it is. They understand it. It's simple. So we have, I can tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, that we ran into a few challenges, and a few challenges that we had on our enrollment page. We've made about 40 something adjustments already. Our IT team, I can tell you this, they sleep 2 hours a day. This is no exaggeration, 2 hours per day. We already added more to the IT team. Now, when I'm talking about our staff, I'm not including the IT team. The IT team, that's an entirely different partnership that we've actually been able to create. But they've stepped their game up. You're going to see something come Monday, Tuesday that's not supposed to come until much later. They said, hey, listen, you guys are having more enrollments than we've ever experienced before in any pre-launch. We need to build you something in that's a little bit more robust until we launch. And so they're doing that. We've already seen some of the screenshots of how it's going to look. So that way each of you will be able to have at least a dashboard, seeing your personals and stuff like that. Here's what I want you to remember. Now, in pre-launch, I don't want to give you an excuse about growth pains. Growth pains, that's no excuse for certain things, okay? But here's what I want you to do. I want you to remember I was having a call with one of my good friends, Judicate, over there in Africa. And I was talking to him about pain and about change and about difficulty. And here's what I want you to remember. You should judge whether you're willing to endure the pain based off of how long you intend to enjoy the gain. Let me give you an example. And I'll say that again. You judge or determine whether you're going to endure the pain based on how long you plan on enjoying the gain. What do I mean by that? right now you may have a sign-up issue. This is the first week. If you were only planning to be in the business for 2 weeks, then you should probably quit. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully. Why? Because it's not worth it to go through 1 week worth of sign-up challenges for only 1 week worth of income. But if you're planning to be here for a legacy, for a lifetime, you'll never think about this week 2 years from now. Let me give you another example. You don't remember this, but your mother remembers. When you were a little baby, you were doing this thing called teething, when those teeth were coming in. And it hurt, and there was nothing she could do. And she'd go get that baby oral gel, and she'd put it on your gums, and you would cry, and you would cry, and you would cry. And I know how it is when a baby cries, that mother cries along with that baby. And you were in pain. But you're a grown man, you're a grown woman now. You don't even think about it. Why? Because you're using your teeth for the rest of your life now. But if you were only going to use those teeth for 2 weeks, I'm not going through teething pains. No, And so this is what I want you to understand, how to think about what you go through, because I told you this opportunity came out of adversity. It came because I was starting a new project and I wouldn't quit on the new project. And that was a consulting company that I started. And I tell people, if you keep swinging the bat, 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 you know what's going to happen? You're going to connect with that with that baseball at some period of time. At some point, you're going to connect. This was that connection. This was the grand slam. One hit. I had no base hits when I started the consulting company in terms of what my goals were. I got companies back on track. I was, pulled about 4 clients that were doing good. This opportunity came because they were a client. Traverse was a client. My company was a turnaround specialist for network. I know how to turn companies around. So I started doing it for other companies. I was doing it for free at first. And I said, well, now I've got the time, I got the experience, I'm building a team. So we started consulting company, turning companies around. And some of them you don't even know about. And so here I am looking to turn Traverse around. And I met David. Man, this is a great guy. This dude is awesome. I met Peter, met Lori. I'm like, hold on for a second. And then we start talking, and we're bringing them in to kind of merge them in with another one of my clients. So let me take one client, another client, and kind of put them together and form a marriage over there. That other client didn't have an appreciation for this one. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then when I understood the product, boom. That's how it all happened, okay? And so it was adversity that brought this on. So we've had some adversity, and so some of you had to sign up. Like, here's where some of the challenges coming right now is that we've got about the first 92 people who signed up, and the first 92 people went in about 17 minutes. Those ID numbers, and those people are sponsoring a lot of people. Well, anybody who has those ID numbers from the first 92 people are causing issues. The other people who've come in and who are not being sponsored by the first 92 are okay. And so we're fixing that as well. So when we get to this new platform, we're going to go in and identify all of those. Don't worry about it. If you sponsor somebody, if you think they're lost, don't worry about that, okay? Trust me, we got a great team. Don't focus on that. And here's let me give you they told me to give you this information here. When enrolling your TSA number for best results, everyone gets their travel site. Everybody's going to get their travel site starting on March the 11th is when your travel site actually will come up. Okay, that's when you'll actually have your product. But you've got the link, and I think you should go to I think it's countdownforfreedom.com/start. If you use that, it takes them right to that page, and you'll see the first question it's going to ask you is, do you have an IQ travel site? If you don't know what that means, then it doesn't apply to you, okay? Other thing here, clarification. Which country is going to get to pay $49.95? I've got countries now, I got a few people sending me a message saying, please don't make my country $49.95. I want the $99, okay? We'll let you know. That's all going to be based off of the compliance and regulations and stuff like that. Another thing here, promo event for Houston, okay? We've got the promo, and I think that we're going to have our ticket system up live. T. Gray, I need you to send me a message and make sure that it's going to be up live, or Anna, who was working on that. Let me know if that's going to be. So the people know about it, or is it, can they see? I don't want them to see it until I give it to them, because I want them to focus on me here. Got my producer in my ear, guys. Okay, so he's going to send it to my WhatsApp, so we'll let you know about the events that we'll have, okay? So now here's what we're going to do here. Every call, guys, won't be this long. This is just kind of that first training call that I'm training about nothing that not all the things that I wanted to, that I thought about, but I gave you what I feel you needed, okay? I gave you what I feel you needed, and setting the stage from a philosophical standpoint of who we are as a company. Other thing here I want to give you is the promo event that we've got. We'll put that up in a second. Saturday Zooms, okay? Saturday Zooms, 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. So on Saturday, our Zoom calls are going to be at 12 p.m., 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to have Mr. David Manning at 12 o'clock, which is today. And we're going to have Mark Kithcart that's going to be doing the 6 o'clock call. Sunday, David Manning will do 12 o'clock, and T. Gray will be doing Sunday. And let me share something with you. We have a distributor out there, guys. I am so proud to say she's going to be the very first. So T. Gray's looking at the schedule now to see when we're going to kick it off. We'll probably have her kick it off on Monday. We've got a distributor who is phenomenal, who understands this business, who's built an organization, a nice, large-size organization. She's fired up. She's so excited. Her name is Tanya Moselle. Tanya Moselle will be our very first distributor that will get on and do an opportunity call. And ladies and gentlemen, you better pack the house. I want that call packed more than for me, for T. Gray, for David, for Peter, for Mark Kithcart. Not only is she the first female, she'll be the first person. One of the things that I'm a real big believer, that we're real big believers in here, is this is an equal opportunity for women to go out there and dominate. Normally, network marketing is dominated by what I call Tarzans, right? As Jane starts the business, Tarzan comes around and says, now this is our business since you're making us 6 figures, and then he gets all the credit. I can tell you right now, if you're a female out there, whether you are a single parent, single mother, whatever you are, I want you to understand that you've got an equal opportunity to become wealthy over here. Anywhere else, the recognition is going to be extremely strong for you as well. Let's see what else I've got here. All right, in Houston, this coming Thursday, February the 28th, we're going to have the first business opportunity meeting that's going to take place in Houston, and that is going to be at the Hilton Post Oak. Thanks to all the team who've been putting that together. I know we're going to have them all over the world, and we're going to be having business opportunity meetings. They're having them right now like crazy, guys. These things are going berserk in terms of what people are doing. But we're going to have February 28th, we're going to have that event. So I told you I wanted to ask you guys a question, okay? I wanted to give you a question here and ask you a couple things. And here's the question I wanted to ask you. Why? It's your company. I want to ask you guys about changing the compensation plan. We've kind of presented to you what the comp plan is, but I've got a proposal for you. And here's what I want to know. This is what I want to ask. I was talking with a group of leaders yesterday, and I says, I have an idea. Okay, have an idea. And I want to propose it to you. You tell us what you want, it's what we're going to do. Okay, need the feedback. So we said, what if, right now, how we make money from the Zooms, okay? Keisha's got the ears up there. She says, bring it on, bring it on. We've got the Zooms up, right? I mean, not the Zooms, but the boomerangs that we give out. And when customers save money, 50% of their savings we get as a commission, and then we take 35% of the rest of it, and we put that through the comp plan, and the company keeps 15%. Why? Because we're going to build that perpetual residual income builder, and the company has to be profitable, okay? Remember, guys, always think company first. Don't think me first. Don't think let me get all the money out of the company. That doesn't work. That's not a good philosophy, all right? When I started my coffee business, when I got over, I was a few weeks into the company, I was making over $25,000 a week, and I told the company, you can't pay me that. I said, listen, anything over $25,000 a week, don't pay me, because I know you can't afford it. Why? I want to be here long term. I want it long term. And why am I able to continue having my income even though I own a company? Because I've operated with integrity. I don't cross recruit. I haven't talked to anybody to say, hey, listen, you need to come over here to my own to my new company, and I won't ever do it, ever, and you better not do it either. And so because I did that and I took those steps in the beginning, I still have that income that actually comes in here. And so, yes, I'm still a supporter. I'll still help the company. I'm in Vegas right now because of that, because I gave my word, okay? And so that's how we earn money through the boomerangs that we have, right? And so what if we did this here? We thought about this. The travel discounts are so deep for people. We said, what if we give everybody an income booster right now? Here's what I want to ask you. What if we took 10%, just 10%? So like when you see that example where it shows I saved 70%, what if it said he only saved 60% as a travel savings ambassador? And if I save 60% instead of 70%, that means if it's normally 30%, you'll save 20. Okay? And we'll only do it below a certain threshold. Okay? If your savings is, we'll see if we can do the savings of over 30% or higher, but let me give you the concept. What if we took that 10% on all of our TSAs, and we took that difference of the 10% and we ran it through the compensation plan? Okay. Some of you don't know what I just said, but you as a TSA, you pay 10% more. That means we're going to take the discount instead of 70 something percent. Like I've seen as high as 78%. That means it'll be as high as 68%. And whatever that 10% is. So for example, my savings was almost $1,600. So that means that what if we would have took 160, I would have paid 160 more. But if I'm a distributor, it would have went to all the upline, would have got paid off of it. I want to know, do you want that? I want to see in the comments, yes, or I want to know, no. Let me share with you what can happen. Imagine building an organization and going to convention, and you got 5,000 people in your group going to the convention. We don't do room blocks. Why? You've got the iGo website. That means everybody's booking through iGo. That means you got paid on 5,000 people who just came to the event. When you get to the event, when you leave the event, you may have made $300,000, or I don't know what it turns into, but can you imagine if you had 5,000 people and your group came to the event? That way, every time somebody in your group travels, you get paid. Do we travel more than one time a year? Yes. Yes. Even Lori says, yes, do it. Yes, yes, yes. Lori Spears says, yes. Okay. I want to know, is that something you want? Okay. It says that would be great. The bigger percentage on higher ranks. Okay. Let's keep the percentages the same. Why? Because remember, we built this for everyone. We built this for everyone. A retail business where it's equal for the non-builder. Remember, the higher ranks, we already said that. That's the old model. The top recruiters, higher ranks, are the ones who always win. We're going to have people here who have nobody in their group walk across stage receiving their six-figure rings. The rings, I'm real big on those. The rings and those six-figure checks walk across the stage saying, yeah, me and Bob, we never really built network marketing, but we know a lot of people who travel, and we just went to our local church and we got the people and we set up a few fundraisers, and we're making $340,000 a year, but we haven't been able to recruit one person yet. That's what my dream is. I already know the builders can build. I already know you guys who are professionals, you're going to crush this. But remember, what about the person who's never done it? What about the Holton Buggses of the world, my first 7 years of network marketing? Okay? So it's your company. You decide. If you say no, we can't do it. I'm just the steward. I'm the pilot flying. You give the instructions. You tell us what we're going to do. That means, and I haven't discussed this with the big team here. So Lori, start working on it. David, get extreme travel ready. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to knock this. We're going to knock this out of the park, guys. Listen, I promise you that we're going to do things that's never been done in the industry here. In the industry. And every time somebody travels, well, so see, here's the thing. Right now, in the company that you've been in, when a distributor uses your product, do you get paid? Yes, you get paid. Well, why not? Why not we get paid when our distributors use the product? Wouldn't that be cool? Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So that's what we're actually going to do. So now here's the thing here I want you to understand. Right now, guys, we're operating with our uni-level compensation plan it's an enrollment compensation plan. People say, when are the first commissions going to be triggered? Well, all of the packages go into place on March the 11th. Now, hold on, let me explain something to you. You remember we're talking about the founders. I want to address founders, and we're going to shut this down. Why? The only reason I'm shutting it down now, my battery, even though it's charging, says I only have 5% left, and it's charging. So let me turn this thing on, make sure I'm getting some good signal here. Okay, there we go. 5% left. So here's what happens. Okay. The Founders Program is for those people. Now, when you get involved in the business, guys, don't force people to go to any package. We have the standby package, which is $49, and you know what you get with standby, okay? You can earn money with standby as well. And so you can't, in network marketing, you can't force a person to buy a package, and we're not going to do that. But you present the opportunity, present the value, and let a person make their own decision. So then we've got coach, then we've got business class, then we've got first class, okay? Now, when you go first class, right now we're doing what's called Founders Package, Founders Club. Anybody who gets the first class, you're going to be what we call a founder. There's some great benefits that we're going to have with founder. We're looking at all of the benefits, so I'm not going to spill all the beans right now, but we're going to do some great stuff. There's going to be benefits. When we announce this event that we're doing, everybody knows we're going to give you the location in a second. Founders are going to have some privileges. We're looking at what those privileges are going to be. We'll be releasing that to you. Just know that when you're a founder and you're first class, it's going to come with special privileges. One of the privileges is you already start in the binary. When we switch over to the binary, you're going to get 20% grandfathered for the first year, no matter what your rank is, okay? That's one of the benefits that you'll have. That's a promotion, okay? But I would love to be in a position, I've always loved to be in a position to say I'm one of the founding members here. Why? Because we're building an income for you that you'll never lose as long as you know, you do what you're supposed to do and you get customers and build, you got an income here for life. You can always say, I'm a founder. I am a founder in this company here. I was there at the very beginning, okay? And so you have that ability. So we're looking at, you know, preferential seating, a celebration party. We're looking at different things. We're going to let you know what we're going to have in the beginning as a founder. You also get 2 weeks in advance notice of things that we're going to do as well. So all of those things are great benefits that you're going to have as a founder. Now, remember this. As we build in the uni-level comp plan right now, we're building a fast start. That means it's a one payout. That means a fast start that goes 6 levels deep and it pays like crazy, okay? I'll give you an example. I was talking to a group the other day and I said, listen, do you know if you had 100 people came into your team between levels 2 and 3, that's $10,000? And one of the guys said, hold on. He said, I've had 200 people. Listen, we had one guy yesterday, 200 people had joined his team yesterday before 2 o'clock. From the morning to 2 o'clock, 200 people joined his team that day. So I guess let's look at midnight. From midnight, how do we know? Because we're working with the programmer on the IT team, looking at what was going on, because he was one of those first 92 people that got in, that's building a great team. Now, that's if they had joined the Founders Pack, which the majority are, that's $10,000 that this guy would have made, his family here would have made before noon, because they're not playing around, okay? So that uni-level plan is absolutely incredible. Now, here's what happens. Everybody is put into what we call a holding tank. The holding tank is when we go to the binary compensation plan, you will now be able to take the people personally sponsored and place them in the positions that you want them to have. My suggestion is let people compete for top positions. I never forget when I sponsored my first person, I didn't do it based off of buddy, friend. No, you had to be the producer. This ain't friends. This is about business. You got to earn it. Do you want it? Okay. And I said the person who has the most number of people sponsored at this level, that person goes in first. Second person gets number 2. Third person here. Fourth person here. Not, I'm going to put you there because that's where you were last company, or you're my buddy. No, because when it comes to, paying off that mortgage, buddy ain't going to pay for it. Production's going to pay for it. It's just my suggestion. You can do it how you want to do it, but it's going to create more energy and more enthusiasm towards your building. You'll be able to place the people where they are and things of that nature. Let people come compete for it. I don't do placeholders. If I were you, people say, oh, just get me a spot. Okay, you can get a spot after we get through with pre-launch. I don't like, if you're not committed now, you're not willing to build right now, why am I going to give you a spot above a producer? I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you check to see if this is going to work, put you above the people who are getting in when I get started, who's taking it on faith along with me and saying, hey, listen, you're above all the workers. You don't have the faith to start right now. You want to see if it's going to work. And then you're going to come back and get paid off of all the people who made it possible. So what's wrong with our industry today? Last thing, one other thing I want to share with you of what we're doing here. We are developing to be a company that you don't have to trust us. A trustless environment. What do I mean? We are already working with our IT professionals, and we're going to bring all of our back office and technology into the blockchain, meaning that the back office will be on the blockchain. That means that when we put a person in, and there's no moving, there won't be people who can go above you in the compensation plan. We can't just put somebody above you and just start inserting people. Thing I hate is people who don't have the guts to get started in the very beginning, but once it becomes a $300, $400, $500 million company, which is going to happen right away for us, we believe we're going to get that done first 9 months. Okay? Then they say, hey, listen, put me in. I didn't have the guts to start when you started. I didn't believe it was going to work, but put me in at the top. I've never asked for that. Ever, ever, ever. I've never taken a deal. I've never taken a check. I've never taken any of that stuff in a company. I've just got down to work and I've built the business, because everything I've done is I can duplicate it. I can teach you how to do what I've done because I've never had a special deal. I'm not shunning people who've had them, but I'm just sharing with you, you're going to learn from somebody who's built it from the ground up. From the ground up. Our payment structure, we're going to put that into the blockchain. That means that when we say we're going to pay out 85%, the blockchain is going to guarantee that. Okay, so all of those things we're working on. We're talking about the evolution of network marketing. That's what we're doing right here, evolving, and it's gonna force the industry to do a lot of the things that we're doing. Okay, it's gonna force the industry. So I want to go ahead and make this announcement here real quick. I think the yeses have it. I don't know what's going on Zoom. T. Gray, you're in my ear. What is Zoom saying about the people who want whether they want the 10% raise in the TSA prices, and it's not going to happen immediately. What is Zoom saying? So you heard him, right? Zoom is saying yes, 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 hallelujah, absolutely yes. Those are his exact words, is what Zoom is saying. So it's done. You decided it. You made that happen. And so you can go tell the people, I am a founder. I decided to give myself a pay raise in my own company. okay? Not my company, in your company, you decided to give yourself a pay raise, all right? And so a lot of great things that we'll do, we'll bring them to the field and see what you want. And if you say you want them, we'll do them. If you say you don't want them, we won't do them. If you say, we come and say, hey guys, what about selling this? And letting our perpetual residual income builder sell this for you. If you say, no, we don't want that, we're not gonna do that. Why? It's your company, okay? So we're not gonna force everything on you. It doesn't work that way. So now, let's go ahead and talk about this announcement. Let's list it up. Here's what we're gonna do. We've got our first event that's gonna take place live. It's gonna be the global event taking place on March the 8th, which is the VIP, and March the 9th is going to take place. Put it up. It's going to be live right now. It's going to sell out. We could not find a hotel in Houston that could fit us, so we actually had to go a little bit north of Houston to the Woodlands, Texas, which is the northern part of Houston, and some people I know right now are pretty excited about it because it's right there in their backyard. This is why I gave you the clue, and I told you, make sure you fly into Bush. If you want to be there, you're going to be very close to that particular hotel. You can go on and reserve your hotel. I looked at the hotel. Go ahead and reserve your hotel or in that surrounding area if you need a hotel. But it's I think it's $49 for that event. $49 for that event. I think it's $69 at the door. Go get your tickets. It's going to be on Ticket Leap right now. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's not only going to be an opportunity meeting, not only going to be a training, you're going to see Lori Spears. You're going to see the staff. We're having all of our team come down from Dallas, and that's going to be there. You'll meet the entire team that's here working for you. You're going to see David Manning, who's going to be on stage and light it up and let you know his story. You'll see and meet T. Gray. You'll meet Mark Kithcart. You'll meet all the vendors. I've got all of my attorneys, all of the vendors, everybody who's a part of this project. They're coming in at their own expense. They're saying, can I be at the VIP? Every person who's attached to this are wanting to be here, and you'll meet the people who are making your company possible. And so March the 9th, global liftoff event. Now, here's the thing. I want all leaders, calling all leaders. If you are somewhere around the world and you are not able to participate and be here, put together a global event. Let us know where you're going to be doing it. Why? We're going to feature you. We're going to give you shout outs. And if we can zoom you in all around the world and show all of these different groups that we have all around the world participating in Global Liftoff Day, we want to recognize you. Okay? We know everybody's not going to be able to come. Some can't come for visa reasons. Some can't come time or work reasons. It doesn't matter. We want you to be there if you can be there. But I can tell you, this is going to sell out. We only have a limited space in the Woodlands. Every other hotel either had small ballrooms or it was sold out and we couldn't get it. So the Woodlands, we've done business there before. Great venue, great hotel, a lot of wonderful stuff in that area. So if you fly into Bush, it's fine. If you flew into Hobby because you're flying Southwest, it's just going to be a little longer Uber ride or a little longer ride if you rent a car or something like that. So probably renting a car on your site, rent a car on your site. Well, you may not have your site by then, but renting a car will probably even be cheaper than an Uber. Uber's probably going to cost you, even the Uber X will probably cost you about 65, 70 bucks there, 65, 70 bucks back, and you may get rental cars cheaper. So go there, and it's going to be first come, first serve. You know, first come, first serve. I don't think we're going to have walk-ins. I think this is going to sell out through the system here. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, the first pay period that I was mentioning will take place March the 11th. Most people will go into the system. We're going to notify certain people for founders, because if we do something special for founders, we're going to have to verify that you actually are a founder, which means that we're going to start processing founders. We'll notify you. So if you're a founder, I want you to be prepared the first week of March for us processing you. Why? We're not going to process all on one day. Why? We don't want the merchant account saying, hey, listen, you did $5 million in one day and they're shutting our merchant accounts down. So we have to stagger them and do them, so many per day, maybe 300 today, 300 the next day, 300 the next day, and stuff like that. So we can verify who the founders are. And that way, all the special stuff that we're going to do on March 9th for founders, we'll verify that you are a founder. So even though you've selected it and hadn't paid for it now, get prepared from the first week of March. up until the 6th that we're going to start processing founders, okay? All the other ones, we won't start processing those because we told you on the 11th. But if you're a founder, we're going to start doing that, okay? If you know that you can't have it processed by then, either let us know and then we'll just cancel yours out because some of you prepared maybe economically for that time and maybe you get paid on the 10th or something like that. Just let us know. We'll work with that. But it's only going to be the paid founders who have these benefits. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, guys, I can go on and on and on because I'm fired up and excited about your company and what we've got going on here. But I just wanted to let you know who we are, our principles. Jim says, how can he join? Jim, go find somebody who's in the business and they'll give you a link on how you can actually get started. But we're excited, guys. We're fired up. Hopefully you can see it. It's real. It's authentic. Remember, guys, we're going to break some records out here. And it's not breaking records saying that other companies have to be down. We're just going to go out here and be the best that we can be. We're going to go out here and do what we know how to do. I want you getting prepared. I want you putting a list together right now of your customers. Who's going to be a customer? Put your list together of customers, put your list together of builders, and the next training that I do, I promise you I'm going to get into the specifics of business building. But here's the thing. If you don't cultivate the ground before you plant the seed, it's not going to grow. Today's training was ground cultivation. I can show you how to sponsor X number XYZ, but if you don't know who we are and who our philosophy is, guess what's going to happen? You'll grow it, but you won't keep it. I promise you, what my promise is that we're going to give you everything for you and the tools and the vehicle to build and create wealth. Most importantly, we're going to give you the tools to keep the wealth. And most importantly, we're going to give you the tools to multiply the wealth. Remember, our philosophy is we're going to do good. We're going to show you how to be good. Good is G-O-O-D. Get out of debt. We don't want you going out there buying Mercedes Benzes before you can do it. We don't want you going full time way too early just because you're excited. Keep your job. This is easier to work when you have a job and you've got time pressures on you. Put 6 months of income away. Make sure that your income is 50% higher than what you're earning on your job. Then you go ahead and resign. Too many people go full time too quick, and guess what they do? They have all this time on their hands and they get bored and don't go build the business. But set a goal. I want to know what's your get out of debt date. And I led by example. HB is debt free. And we want you to be debt free. I don't care about how big your house is if you got a mortgage. Don't tell me about you got a 15,000 square foot house but a 40,000 square foot mortgage. That doesn't impress me. Tell me you got a 1,500 square foot loft and it's paid for. Now I'm impressed. Okay? Don't tell me you got a Rolls Royce and you're making payments. Okay? Now, if you're making payments because you just choose to do it that way, but you can afford to pay cash, that's different. I don't care about your Rolls Royce, your Mercedes, your Bentley when you got payments. Don't tell me you got a Rolls Royce, but your kid's college education is not set up. Don't tell me you got a Rolls Royce and your second generation, you don't have $1 million or $2 million set up for your second generation. You're robbing your family of what they deserve. Nobody's going to care about a Rolls Royce. It's going to get old. What they're going to care about is daddy and grandma and granddaddy. Look what they left us. Look what they left us. And most people are leaving problems. What you're going to leave is a legacy. I promise you, we're going to teach you leadership. You're going to get leadership trainings here. You're going to get it all here. Some of you won't understand this philosophy. It's okay. That's what a culture is all about. A culture defines the tempo of who it is that you are. And some people will look at this and they says, man, I don't want to be a part of this stuff. I'm a part of that fake it till you make it group. Okay? No, we're not going to fake it till we make it. We're going to faith it until you make it. I am honored and privileged to be your leader, the captain of this ship. I love each and every one of you. You guys are absolutely special. Thank you. Thank you for breaking records and breaking our system. And thank you for making this company the most admired company in the world. 12 o'clock p.m. today, guys. We're going to have an opportunity call, and then 6 o'clock p.m. as well. I'll see you at the other side. And remember, also on the beaches of the world. Goodbye, everybody. Talk to you later.